Chris Anderson.
Morning, everyone. It's a little early, I know, but like Kevin said, I did get tapped for this kind of at the last minute. I didn't have time to do really highly polished slides, so I apologize in advance. From what I've seen around here, we have not only VS Live, SQL Live, VBits, MDC, Speech Tech. There's a medical conference as well. So if you're here for the medical conference, this is the wrong keynote. So we talked a lot about what we wanted to cover in this presentation, and the key thing we wanted to do was show real code. We want to spend as little time as possible listening to me talk and as much time as possible watching code run. So we're going to do a video, talk about what we're doing today, and then go into next year. The web. I love the web. HTML, and it's going on HTTP, it's great, but the web sucks. It's a horrible platform for rich, smart client applications. But why do people keep going there? We ask this all the time. They say, well, deployment is horrible today. It's tough to do. And I need reach. I need to go to all these different platforms, and I need to be able to really target this stuff. So for deployment, we've been trying to get this better for a long time at Microsoft. We did MSI to try to make it so we had self-healing apps. We had auto-deployment with .NET. And with Visual Studio 2005, we're going to have click once to enable you to actually have subscriptions to applications and get those down. So we think we're getting this one. What about reach? I know what you're all thinking. A Microsoft guy talking about reach. This can't be good. But I want to talk about wide reach. I want to talk about reach beyond just does it run on Linux or Mac or Windows, but I want to talk about reach to does it get on my phone? Does it get to my watch? Well, if I had a watch. And the problem is smart clients are more than just personal computers. They're everywhere. You want to have your information available wherever you go, whenever you need it. We've gotten to this place of 24/7 connectivity as the normal. Each one of these devices has a massively different characteristics on display, on how input works, how connectivity functions, and really how people interact with the device. And the problem is web reach is just not enough for this. We need a way of building smart clients. So the time is now for smart devices. We need to build these and create applications that really put people in touch with their data. But I have a confession. We haven't done enough. We have a set of good tools. We're going to show you what those tools are today. For those of you who haven't done mobile development, I think you're going to be surprised at what you can do. For those of you who've been doing mobile development, I think you'll kind of reiterate this, that the tools aren't good enough yet. So what I want to do today is three things. I want to show you how simple it is to build mobile applications today. It's out-of-the-box experience. It's available on lots and lots of devices. I want to show you that Microsoft's committed to making this a first-class development platform. We're moving out of this realm of devices being the also ran as category and making them be a premier target for us. And finally, I want to show that we're going to build this super productive platform that will enable you to solve not only your, the apps you want to sell, but also the things that you need to run your businesses. So as Kevin said, I'm actually woefully unqualified to present on this topic. I never programmed for Pocket PC before last week, and that's really the truth. They sent me a device, and I wrote a little Hello World app, and that's about the farthest I've gotten. And so they sent me a bunch of materials to prepare. They gave me PDC presentations, documents to read, a bunch of stuff. And they said one of the big problems for people targeting mobile devices is trying to understand what the various options are that they can target. So he said, here's a great video on a reasonable methodology for choosing the mobile device platform you're going to go. So with that, we'll run the video. So I'd like to start and talk about what you can do today. And since I'm not the expert, I'd like to bring out Seth from the Compact Framework team, who's going to walk through what you can do today with VS 2003 and the Compact Framework. Seth?
Hey Chris, how you doing?
Great.
So you excited to see what you can do with your device today with Visual Studio.NET 2003 and Windows Mobile?
That's a lot of marketing.
It's a lot of marketing speak, but now that it's out of the way, never again.
So let's start.
Okay, so how about you just start up a new project, a new smart device project in Visual Studio?
Okay. How about DirectX 9? How about that instead?
We don't have DirectX for Pocket PC right now, but maybe later.
Okay. Back on target.
All right, so name your app and...
what are we going to build today?
Okay, what we're going to do is actually use web services and build a WinForms rich client application to consume the Microsoft MapPoint web service. And we're actually going to call that web service and get back a map of this conference center. So,
great.
Hope that sounds interesting.
I've used the MapPoint stuff before on my desktop, so I'm guessing it's going to be similar?
Yeah, the goal of the Compact framework was to make your development experience as similar to developing a client application in WinForms on the desktop. So,
great.
You know, it's one of the driving forces behind WinForms on the desktop. Let me know how we did. Let me know how similar we got.
We'll find out. So I see a smartphone over here, so I'm guessing I should go with that.
Yeah, let's do smartphone since that's what we've got here today.
Got a form designer up
Got
and
a form
running?
designer. Looks familiar, huh?
Very familiar.
Okay, great. So since we're going to be displaying a picture, how about you throw a picture box on there?
Okay.
And we're calling a web service. So let's go ahead and add a web reference.
This seems like it's just like it is on the desktop.
Yeah, that's what we're going for here. So
luckily we have this very understandable URL sitting there waiting for us.
Absolutely. It's pretty intuitive.
I know you guys were all going to shout out that address early, but
everyone knows the address to the MapPoint web service, right?
And apparently MapPoint doesn't know the address to the MapPoint web service.
All right, we've got the WSDL and generated the web proxy. So we probably need to add a button so we can activate our web service call, but button looks like it's grayed out.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
That's not going to work. And the reason is because there's no buttons on smartphone because it doesn't have a touch screen. So let's use the soft key menu instead at the bottom and add a menu item that we're going to click with the soft key to call the web service.
Okay.
Sound good? All right.
I've got my menu.
So we've got our menu, we've got our picture box, and we've got our web reference already finished. Let's double click on that and write some code.
Okay.
So probably going to want to import some namespaces. Let's see, you're going to use system.net for our web credentials and system.io to do some stream handling. And also we're going to import that web service that we just added as well. So I think that's about all we need for this. And now that that's done, let's go create the new SOAP service.
Okay.
And it's a render service SOAP is the object that's created by the MapPoint web proxy for us. So
wow,
that's
intuitive.
It's very intuitive.
Yeah, it's a good name.
It's a great name. And even more intuitive is how we're going to actually use my personal login credentials.
Okay, everyone, you need to just share these among us. We don't want this to leak out.
Sort of a secret.
Don't impersonate.
Okay, my username is 35625. And my password is lowercase a, uppercase I, uppercase ZJ45, $3, lowercase x, 1G.
Oh, baby.
You got that?
Yeah, that looks
excellent.
great.
Okay. Woo. So that's actually the hardest part. We're done with the hard part. So now that we've got that,
good. Okay.
We're actually going to go ahead and drag a little code snippet that we've got beforehand. And we're going to add this, and what we're really going to do is just look at some of the objects that we need to send to the MapPoint web service in order to specify the map that we want to get. We're going to specify the image format and the latitude and longitude that we want to get back on the map, as well as the size. So it's pretty intuitive. You can see us setting these things, and that looks like we're ready to call the web service now.
Yeah, so just, everyone knows that we're at about 37 degrees by negative 122, right? That feels right. Okay. Just want to make sure we're all...
I usually know the location of where I am, and out to at least 3 decimal places. But it turns out if you don't have those last 2, you're actually in the Pacific Ocean. So, a couple more significant digits does help. Okay? All right. So let's actually go ahead and make a call to the web service. That's the my render service, and we need to define a map images array to receive the value we're going to get back from it.
Yes.
So calling this web service packages up this object with the map format, sends it out to the MapPoint web service, and we get back an array of map images that we're going to slam into the picture box. We're only specifying one image here, but the web service is extensible and allows you to get multiple maps in one call. So we've gone ahead and gotten that, and we've called the service. So let's go ahead and set the image box, the picture box's image to
But we have to get,
what we've got.
How do we get the image, right? So if we got a bunch of them. So if I look at this.
Yeah, let's see. This is a little tricky.
So we can get a URL, right?
We can get a URL, but that's not an image.
Okay, so
right.
mime data,
and
it
we're going to have
has
to mime data
bits.
and get the bits from it. So we have a byte array that we need to throw into a picture box. So let's create a memory stream.
All right.
And wrap that in a memory stream. And how about we create a new bitmap from that stream and just throw that bitmap on the picture
This is another example of the intuitive API that we have here, right?
It's pretty nice.
Okay, so
pretty intuitive. So looks like we've got.
Okay, so we got our bitmap. Now I know how to do this.
You know how to do this.
This
is stock WinForms here. So I think that's it.
Now, if I remember right, we were having a few little issues we needed to invalidate.
Yeah, let's make sure that that updates itself. So.
Okay, so from what I can see here, we created this map specification, which is a bunch of SOAP data that we're going to send over to the web service.
Yeah.
We're then going to we get back an array of map images, sucked out the data from it, and this is all going to happen on the smartphone, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
I hear someone's smartphone in the audience.
Just in case we run into an error, although we've never seen an error with any of this code, we're just going to do this just in case.
That sounds great. So let's go ahead and deploy this. On the upper left-hand corner, there's the device deployment drop-down. So let's go ahead and choose smartphone device because that's what we've got here today.
Great.
But if you don't have a smartphone, you can actually deploy to an emulator that's installed by default when you download the SDKs from the web. So you don't need a phone to begin developing right now. So hit F5, and let's see if this is going to work here.
It deployed.
It deployed.
It's running.
All right.
I see the... Do we have the...
can we have the device up on the screen, please?
Let's go to the device.
There we go. All right, and it looks like we have a blank form with some soft keys at the bottom.
Boy, Seth, you create really exciting looking applications.
I am not good at UI.
You're wonderful.
I will admit it.
Okay, I'm guessing I can put a breakpoint?
Yeah, you should be able to put a breakpoint anywhere you want and execute that button, and we'll step right into that code.
So this is going to go over GPRS and make this web service request, right, and come back down to the device?
It could go over GPRS. Right now we're active synced to our Visual Studio PC, so we're actually debugging over USB.
Okay.
And we're actually also going to make the web service call over the USB HTTP tunneling. But if you had it unplugged, it would work, and it would just go over GPRS.
So I don't need to change the code to go between GPRS.
You don't need to change any code to go from GPRS to active sync, or even wireless Ethernet. There's no code change.
Great.
So
we hit the breakpoint. I single-stepped over it, so now we're doing the actual web service request.
Right. Can we get the debugger up on the screen, please? Thank you. All right. So we're broken into our code, and Chris has stepped in. We're actually going out and making the service call on the device, retrieving the data from map points.
Now, this is the first for an MDC. We're actually running live code.
And it looks like we got over it.
So it works. That's good.
Let's see if we can tell before we continue in the app whether we got some good data back or not. So let's go take a look at what we got back. And it looks like in the debugger we've got something back that looks like a map with our latitude and longitude and
that's our specification.
some data, doesn't it? Yeah.
All right, let's run.
All right.
So we'll go back to the device. And, hey, look.
Oh, my gosh.
We got Moscone, and we got Ansel Adams Center.
So a web service call in just a few lines of code from visualstudio.net onto a smartphone 2003 device.
That's great. That's awesome.
We thought it was awesome, too. So
thanks a lot.
Hey, no problem, man.
So now we can transition from what we can do today, and we're going to kind of shift gears and talk about what's coming up. So you've seen you can do basic desktop programming effectively on your device, whether it's a Pocket PC or a smartphone. And upcoming with the future mobile development platforms, we're going to have a lot of new cool stuff. And I'm going to bring out Ori from the Visual Studio for Devices team to give us a rundown of what's coming up. Doing good.
All right, so you've seen some of the really exciting stuff you could do today with Visual Studio, but what I want to take Chris and you through right now is some of the incredibly cool stuff that's coming down the pike with Visual Studio 2005 and a future generation of Windows Mobile. Now, I think we're going to have you slide over there.
Okay.
We're going to use that podium.
Walk to the future.
Walk to the future. And what we're really going to show you is how much we've been, listening to customers. You've been telling us a lot over the last couple of years that mobile developers want a first-class experience, first-class citizen in Visual Studio, and with APIs, with tools, everything. I want to show you how we are achieving that dream. Are you ready?
I want to see us achieve it.
All right. Now,
Let's
Chris,
see a dream.
Chris, I know you're a VB guy, but my man, we have to go hardcore. We're going to go all the way pedal to the metal, and we're going to show you native code on devices. Now, Chris was the original architect for WinForms,
and
now for Avalon, future of Windows Client, but C++.
I love managed code.
I know you're a managed code guy. All right, new ATL project. This is Visual Studio 2005. As you can see, we have now fully integrated our native development environment into the IDE. Embedded Visual C++ is the tool you have today, and in the future, ATL, MFC, all native code in VS. Same IDE as the desktop, same great runtimes. Let's go ahead and...
That's awesome. So what are we going to build?
I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay.
What we're going to do is build you a COM object using ATL that can talk over serial Bluetooth to this Bluetooth GPS device you have next to you.
Now, wait a minute. I've heard COM is dead is the going rumor. That's not true, is it?
Not really, no.
No. So you're bringing it back for devices?
We're bringing COM interop back for devices. We're bringing back runtimes and make it easier to create COM objects, as all our native developers pretty much told us they want that type of support, and it's coming.
Awesome. Okay. So we're going to talk to this GPS device.
So we're going to go and talk to the GPS device live on stage. We're going to suck the data off the GPS device in native, and we're going to consume it in a managed code application using COM interop, and have that same app that you just built use real live GPS data. You good to go?
Okay. That sounds cool.
Here's what I'd like you to do. I want you to add a class. And you can call it whatever you want, something like read GPS, and I'd like you to add a method to get data off that GPS device. Now, while Chris does that, I'm going to tell you that we now have ATL 8.0 consistent with the desktop coming to devices. We have MFC 8.0 consistent with the desktop coming to Pocket PC and smartphone. We have a new native debugger that's sometimes 10x faster than the native debugger we have today. We have a new ARM emulator with incredibly high fidelity for emulation on your desktop. We have new ability to attach to remote processes. Basically, all the great native experience that desktop developers enjoy are all coming to devices. So you guys should be very, very psyched. How are we doing, Chris?
Okay, so my COM days are coming back to me. I've modified IDLE, and now I think I have to do headers, CPP files, and like 18 other configuration files, right?
Yeah, almost as easy as VB.
Okay, so this is...
You're on the right track.
Okay, get data. So I was recalling also my great Hungarian, so LP Beaster latitude.
Oh, for the love.
Beaster, LP Beaster longitude, right? This is what this is the native code experience, right?
This is the native code
experience.
All right, great. Hey, some people love it, man, and we love it too. All right, let's write some code. Okay. So now you need to actually go over to this device, and we're going to use a GPS driver that we prepped for you.
That's great. So we got this little cool thing here, little
neat.
Pharaoh's GPS receiver using Bluetooth.
Very, very cool.
We'll have it so you can just see the edge of it.
Yeah.
So I cut and pasted some code because we went through this and we determined that you guys really didn't want to see me write a whole bunch of C++ code that talked to a serial port. But let me tell you a little what it's going to do. We're basically going to do COM over Bluetooth, serial communication.
That's right.
Over Bluetooth, emulating a COM port. We're going to get a sentence back, which is GPS for data.
Data.
Okay, so we like sentences. And just close the connection and away we go.
That's right. All right, a couple more modifications I need you to do. I need you to make sure we're targeting Pocket PC 2003 ARM v4.
Check.
Excellent. And we got to make sure we add a reference to the lib.
The lib.
Did we do that? Excellent. So the lib has the code that actually can talk over to the GPS device. There we go. Pretty straightforward. And we're almost done. We're almost done. Excellent. One of the great features we've added that actually works superbly reliably now is the ability to register your COM objects for you remotely on the device, so you don't have to do it by hand. That's pretty handy. Build started, deploy succeeded. Excellent. So we have that there. Well, since this is a DLL, we can't actually really run it. What we're going to do is consume this now from C#. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm prepared.
Here's what
I feel an emotional investment in this library, and I'd like to make sure it works.
Excellent. So we have a solution with a native project in it. What we're going to do is add an existing project from C# that mimics the exact same VB code that you saw earlier. So now you have a native and a magic project in the same solution, which is pretty hot. So there is, let's open up our form and take a look at the code. Form, mouse acting up, there we go.
There we go.
All right, so before we can consume this object, we have to add a reference to it. So let's go ahead and do add reference.
Okay, I'll do...
wait, actually, my mistake. Before you can add a reference, I have to tell you this. We were going to bake a whole bunch of this demo to make sure it all works beautifully on stage, Keynote and all. And Chris is like, no, this is for amateurs. I want hardcore build off the build server. Whatever bugs it has, we'll deal with it. So he got what he wanted, and there's a bug in this build which doesn't allow you to use this beautiful dialog to add a reference. So down
You're blaming me for that.
Yeah, it is totally your fault.
Okay.
Down to command
Just so we're
line.
clear.
Yes, down to command line. So we're going to do this manually. It's a couple of lines to import and create the COM interop assembly. Do you remember how to do that?
I remember this code.
Okay, TLB imp and key replace are your friends. This will all be taken care of for you, hopefully when we ship. If not, we can fire Chris. And,
Wait. I'm not on the compact devices. Why would you fire me?
It's okay. All right. We blame Chris for everything. Doesn't work, it's Chris's fault.
Okay.
All right, so now you can add the reference. Excellent. So let's go ahead and browse for it. And we're going to write, let's say 3 lines of code in C# to actually invoke that method that Chris wrote in the ATL COM object, get the data off the device, and pipe it into map point and get that map back.
Okay, so here's where you have the hard-coded latitude and longitude.
Right, see if you can figure this one out.
Okay.
So GPS, look at that beautiful completion. Oh, so nice. Read GPS, good. And we're going to call the getData method. We're going to have 2 strings as the out parameters of the method. Man, that's a nasty method, huh?
This is all that COM stuff again. So that's string, lat, long.
That's what we have VB and C# for.
Outlat,
Nasty.
Outlog.
Cool.
That looks great.
So yeah, let's get rid of those 34 and negative
Okay,
122.
so
Those are in the middle of the ocean, Chris.
Yeah, I know, those were wrong.
Yeah, those are not right. Here we go. All right, let's set a breakpoint, and we're going to run this. Now, one super cool thing is that the same project that we saw running on a smartphone, we're going to run it on a Pocket PC. For no particularly good reason, just to show you that we can do it. And let's deploy it. Right-click deploy. Build in progress. Deploy started. Deploy succeeded.
Succeeded. So it was pretty interesting because I hadn't done these.
Let's go ahead and not rebuild the native one since we already deployed it. We could just hit F5.
We need to fix this.
We need to fix this.
I hadn't done much of this development, and Ori warned me ahead of time. He's like, devices aren't quite like the desktop. Everything you do, you have to worry about because we've got like sync cables, GPRS, Wi-Fi going on.
All right, let me tell the real story. The real story was that Chris loves to play around. The first time we ran through this, we only ran through it once. His mouse is running all over the place. He's clicking all the menus. I'm like, man, this build is way early. You can't touch all the buttons. The thing crashes all the time. He's like, it's okay. Every 2 minutes, he crashed the IDE. So he promised to behave and not do that now. All right,
so let's switch to the device.
Let's go. Show it to me.
Okay, we got a device.
Let's see the device up on screen. There we go.
There we go. We can see the little corner, this little blinking blue light right up here.
There's the little blue light for Bluetooth.
Okay. So we're going to go. Which one should I go with? Moon or North America?
I like North America.
Moon. Okay. So we hit our breakpoint. We step over our breakpoint. So we've actually instantiated a COM object for managed code.
Ooh, we're going to hit the breakpoint. Can we see the code? Hopefully we hit the breakpoint.
We hit the breakpoint. It's in.
Oh,
we're about to do a web service request. Well, let's keep that up there. I want to see the blue light. Keep it on the device for a second.
Light. Okay.
So we're about to make a web service call. Watch the blue light. Oh, data just flying through the air. All right. So if we go back to the code.
Wow. So we got the data back.
So did we?
Let's see.
Oh. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we figured out our latitude and longitude if we were on the moon.
This didn't work the first 2 times we
Now,
practiced.
of course, we had to cheat a little bit because we can't get GPS inside the building, but, we'll just ignore
no, the
that.
driver will take care of that for you. Don't worry about it.
So we'll run.
F5. Let's go back to the device.
And we go to the device.
And see our beautiful map.
We'll see what Moscone would look like if we moved it to the moon.
If we moved it to the moon.
Because,
So
I
we're
find it
actually
interesting
getting
that
these
MapPoint
coordinates.
actually has built-in support for the moon. That's,
Woo!
there we go. And you were worried.
I was really worried. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so what did we just see? We showed you a bunch of new stuff. A, we have native support in Visual Studio, which is super, super exciting. B, we have the ability to do COM interop, which is really neat. You can leverage all your COM objects. And C, we were able to consume that in a managed project, native managed, same solution, just like the desktop. Awesome.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Okay.
So that was part 1. We have many more parts coming. And our goal partly for today is to overwhelm you a little bit. Hopefully you can't keep up with everything because what I want you to do is walk away with, oh my God, Windows Mobile has so much cool stuff. I got to go learn about it in sessions. So what I want to show you now is you saw desktop on par with desktop. And I want to show you where we're so much better than the desktop. Because the desktop guys like you. Let's go back to Visual Studio. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to show you 4 new, very cool APIs on Pocket PC and smartphone that are coming in a future version. We're going to talk via Manage POOM. Chris, what's POOM?
POOM. No, wait. Pocket Outlook Object Model, right?
Fantastic. Good for you.
Okay, I'm learning. They're teaching me all this vocabulary.
You're getting a C so far. Manage POOM to talk to contacts. You can do email, SMS. We're going to show you how to do that. We're going to show you how to talk to the telephone on the device. We're going to show you how to intercept SMS messages. We're going to do all this stuff in about 10 minutes. So, need you on tiptoes. Let's go.
All right.
Here's what we'd like. In the IDE,
add some references.
we're going to need to add some references first. We're going to add 4 new very exciting namespaces. There we go.
Those 4?
Yes, the Windows
We've
Mobile
never rehearsed
namespaces.
this before.
We've never did that before. Let's go ahead to the designer, and I need you to add a panel. I need you to add a combo box, and I need you to add a button.
Okay.
And while he does that...
Stop a second. This IDE looks way better than the one we saw with 2003.
What's different?
Well, first it actually looks somewhat like my device. There's actually a relationship to the picture and what I'm doing. And secondly, all these controls, I guess this is for the C, so all the controls are working. But okay, so panel.
Notice all the Pocket PC controls are there. So while you do this with the panel and the combo box and the button, I'm going to tell you some super cool new features in Compact Framework 2.0. So COM interop, of course. We have, let's see, God, the list is so long I don't know where to start. We have a whole bunch of really cool controls that the desktop has, like HTML control, datetime picker, all that great stuff. Tons of great performance work. We have asynchronous web service calls. We have generics. We have iterators. We have, I think the list is about 200 items long. I'm just trying to pick the big ones. But all that great stuff that the Desktop Framework 2.0 is getting, you're getting on the Compact Framework as well, which is going to become very, very handy for us in a second.
Okay, so you said a form load and a button click. Those are 2 things
button click.
Okay, so I got those 2 event handlers wired up.
Yes. So what I need you to do is we want to load up the entire Pocket PC address book into that combo box.
Okay.
It's like 600 lines in C++.
So we imported the assemblies. I'm guessing I need to import some namespaces.
Yes. Let's use Microsoft Windows Mobile Pocket Outlook and Microsoft Windows Mobile Telephony, because we're going to make a phone call, hopefully.
Telephony.
Telephony. All right. So let's load up that whole address book.
Okay.
1 line of code. Combo box 1 dot data source equals. I'm going to tell you about a really exciting object called the item store. New
Not network credential?
You need new item store. And see if you can figure out how to get that out of the
Appointments,
item store.
contacts, emails, contacts.
That's right. All your appointments, data, tasks, calendar, everything you need from Pocket Outlook exists in this one very cool namespace. That's all you need. You're done.
1 line of code.
1 line of code.
All my contacts.
That's the motto. For Windows Mobile Future Generation, the motto, we made t-shirts. I wanted to body paint myself with 1 line of code. Kevin Soda said no. But 1 line of code is the motto. Now we want to make a phone call. So let's go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Let's get the phone number first. So what we want to do is typecast the selected object in the combo box to a contact object, and let's get its mobile telephone number.
So that's combo box selected item. This stuff's all coming back to me now.
Yes.
All right, we have a phone number.
We have a phone number. Now we need to make a phone call. So let's do new phone dot. Can you guess?
I'm thinking it's talk since everything else is on.
Good job, Chris. This is why you work at Microsoft.
Give it a
all right.
Number. That's it. So we made a new phone.
We made a new phone.
And then we call it talk.
And we call it talk. That's all it takes. 1 line of code. Let's hit F5.
F5.
Or deploy first. Let's see if this...
This may fail. It's okay. Deployment started.
Why would it fail?
It succeeded. Look at that.
Why would it fail? Have some faith, brother.
Oh, I'm having faith. Okay, so we'll go over to the device.
Yep. Check that out. There's our address book that all got loaded in 1 line of code.
This is your phone, isn't it? I oddly don't have Bill's phone number in my device.
You don't? Amateur. Let's call Seth. Hey, Seth, are you here? Yeah. Call Seth.
Okay.
Notice how we're leveraging the Windows Mobile dialer, so you don't have to write any of that UI.
Okay.
Seth. You want to answer?
Hello?
Hey!
Really weird delay.
Very cool.
Okay, I'm rude, so I just hung up on him.
1 line of code to load contacts, 1 line of code to make a phone call. Good stuff. What's next?
So we made a phone call.
Oh, but phone call is old school,
well,
isn't it?
You know what? I saw these really cool form factors, right? We saw the build keynote. We saw the devices that, I think we saw a device that you were showing that rotated. Okay, so you bastard. All right. So how are we going to create, I remember when I was talking with Seth, he was saying that Compact Framework didn't have anchoring and docking and any of the layout stuff.
Yes, that's correct.
So the question is, how are we going to solve all those very
Oh, you're going to make me do this.
I'm going to make you do this.
All right, okay. So Windows Mobile 2003 Second Edition, which we announced yesterday, has fabulous support for all sorts of great form factors, right? You have landscape and portrait and square screen and high resolution, VGA, all this super cool stuff. Every developer comes to us and say, oh my God, now I have to write like 6 different versions of my app and handle all this stuff for rotation and all this. No. Let me show you something uber cool. Right click on your skin, my friend.
Ooh.
Rotate left.
Yeah.
We can now support all the multiple form factors in the IDE, so you can see what your app looks like before you build it.
Now, one problem, our app looks like crap right now, actually.
Yeah, well, I didn't say it's going to be that easy. Okay, let's rotate it back, and let's make your app not look like... Kevin said I can't say this word, but he said it. So, okay, what I'd like you to do is figure out how, as a Windows developer, how would you deal with this on the desktop?
I dig docking. I know
Say
docking.
dock. What else?
I can use, well, anchoring. Is that
Anchoring.
going to work?
Docking and anchoring is back.
So
Windows Mobile now supports docking and anchoring, so your controls can automatically adjust to... Oh.
Yeah.
Is that hot or what? All right, so there was no code whatsoever. We can have your app automatically handle rotation and scaling, but that's in the IDE. I mean, that's not so cool. Can we see it on the device?
Let's do the device.
Yeah. So yesterday we tried to show this on... I noticed you were just testing that device to make sure it's not hung. Why would you do that?
I don't know. So if we look over on the device here.
Yes, let's have the device up on the screen. And... or not.
We're waiting for a transition.
So another projector crashed.
Okay.
Okay, so there's
first
the
off,
same
this
app.
is a gorgeous high-resolution device.
This is beautiful. 640 by 480. So sexy.
Okay, so...
Okay. Come on, you gotta love it. All right,
And-
hit the rotate button.
Shall we dare?
Yes, you shall.
Oh, yeah.
Check that out. Same automatic rotation handling.
So the device has come back with a vengeance to work
device-
successfully today.
You know, a device is like, well, yeah.
This is great.
You told me I can't say that either. Jeez. All right, let's go back to the idea and finish up the app we were building originally. So what you really just saw is the fact that we're trying to make it so easy for you to handle all these different form factors, no code required. All those features are supported in Compact Framework, just like on the desktop.
Okay.
All right, so now that we're back in there, we're saying
Back in there. We've done phone
is
calls.
old school. Phone
Old
is
school.
old school. We all know the future is just SMS. Nobody really wants to talk to anybody. So SMS, I want to show how easy it is to send an SMS message from your app. This is, I need your full concentration. This is very confusing.
Full concentration.
We have a class called SMS message. See if you can figure out how to use it. Imagine that. It's called SMS message and not SOAP render service. New SMS message, we need to do 2 things. We need to set who we're going to send it to, and we need to set a body.
Okay. Well, the
Can you
body.
figure out how to do that?
That's easy. Hello from the MDC.
All right.
Right? That seems intuitive. And you said the target?
Yes, we
Who
got to
sending
add
to?
who we're going to send it to, because you can send an SMS message to multiple people, right?
Right? Phone number?
No, that's not going to work.
That's not gonna work?
Close. Good
Close.
guess. But because you can send to multiple people, that's actually a collection. Hit the dot.
Oh, and it takes a recipient.
A recipient.
So not quite, you know. Okay, so a couple objects I have to create there.
Couple objects. There you go.
Okay?
So
And then,
one line of code to create the SMS message, one line of code to set the body, one line of code to send it.
Message done.
That's it.
Oh, I see. So this is your new theory. Everything's one line of code, so
That's
each
right.
task is a separate thing.
We can do this all in one line of code. We have
So you claim
overloads.
it's, oh yeah, it's one line of code. Ooh.
You're so lazy. You're so lazy. God,
Okay.
these VB guys, I'm telling you.
So we'll run this.
So lazy. All right, now I'm a VB guy. All right, let's, do we need a breakpoint or? No, let's just
There
end
were
it.
deployment errors, so we didn't quite hit a breakpoint, but we'll transition
You hit
to
a
the device.
breakpoint in building. All right, all right, deploy this guy. Deploy succeeded. You don't need a breakpoint.
We don't need a breakpoint. You guys have seen the debugger.
Breakpoints.
Everything's
We
pretty
have
great.
faith. Stuff
So
doesn't-
transition to the device now
Yes.
that we've got it compiling correctly.
Yep, let's go see the device. And let's send an SMS message to Seth. No, let's send it to the Pocket PC next to you.
Okay,
So we
this
can see it
right
actually
here?
coming in.
Whoa,
Yeah, good job.
Try to get
Okay.
these side by side.
Side by
Watching this
side.
backwards is a little tough. Okay, so
Okay.
this phone over here is my phone. No,
is that
this
my
is
phone?
your phone.
That's
this
my
is
phone.
your phone.
Yeah, that's my phone.
Okay.
Okay. Let's
Send.
Send,
Or button 1, as the case may be.
as the case may be.
Because our UI is very intuitive. We're waiting.
We're waiting.
Flying through the ether.
Oh.
Oh, except we had
Nice. So you didn't quite get the SMS message.
Okay, well, the SMS message actually did come.
Yes.
And what happened on this device?
Hey,
oh,
there
here
it is.
It did get there. Yeah.
All right, okay, somebody needs to file a bug for this one, but that's okay. Hey, we found a new bug. It's great.
We have found
But you actually got the SMS message, which is
I
pretty amazing.
did, which it theoretically shouldn't have got there. Okay.
Oh, no.
That was a feature.
It is yes. It's reliable SMS messaging. It's MSMQ over SMS. Okay, so nobody knows what MSMQ is. That was funny. Hey, MSMQ is supported in .NET Compact Framework as well, so system.messaging is back. That should be pretty exciting. All right. Not many MSMQ lovers. Last but not least, I want to show you how easy it is to intercept an SMS message.
Intercept? What do you mean by intercept?
I mean, if your app wants to talk to another app over SMS, and your app wants to receive an SMS message so the user doesn't get a nice big bubble.
Ah, sweet.
Right? And you want to
Okay.
use SMS as a communication
So if I want to have like a
protocol,
chess game, I can send an SMS message.
like a chess
to you to
game,
move.
or a chat game, or
Excellent.
instant messenger, or whatever else you want to use.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. When we load the app, we want to register our app for SMS interception. So let's go ahead and create a new message rule. Message rule. And the reason it's called a message rule is because we're going to create a rule that acts on messages that come into the device. Pretty intuitive naming. Let's give it a name. How about our MDC rule or whatever you'd like. And we get to set a post-processing condition. And this allows you to do something like you can get the SMS message in your app and you can delete it, or you can hand it off to other apps, or you can let it go in the inbox.
You can actually just delete it or do nothing is what this is.
Well, dude, we're not shipping for a while. There's
Okay.
going to be other things you could do. Have faith. Have faith.
So we have a rule.
We have a rule. Okay, now we need to install this rule.
Okay.
But beforehand, one of the uber cool features of SMS interception is that if your app isn't running, we can wake you up and give you the message. So let's figure out what the full path to our app is.
Oh, dude,
And
I have
don't
this
make
one
me-
on top of my head.
Yes, I know
so
you do.
I remember this because I'm partially responsible for why this is so easy. So we're just going to get the full path of system.reflection.assembly.getExecutingAssembly.getName.codebase. Paren.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
This is only one line of code in C++. All right.
Okay, we've installed it.
You installed it.
Okay, so we're going to do rule.
Now we need to add an event handler.
Ah.
Just like you can add an event handler for everything else, same thing for SMS.
Oh, we got to show this
Imagine-
Wibi feature. I love this feature.
Oh, check this
Okay,
out.
everyone
This is
look.
so
Right there it
hot.
says press tab to insert.
Press
so I'm going to
tab
hit
to
tab
insert.
once. It inserts the creation of the event handler. I hit tab again. It actually creates the method body for the event handler.
Look at that. You gotta love Wibi.
All right.
Okay, so let's do some interesting things with this. What should we do with the SMS message? List view. We're going to go back to the form designer, and we're going to go, let's make that picture box a little smaller. We're going to create a list view, and when an SMS message comes in, we're going to go ahead and, oh, you're using docking and anchoring. Good job, Chris.
I was.
Yeah, lovely.
Little
So we're going
list
to put a list
view.
view on, and we're going to add records to the list view as SMS messages come in. And actually, Seth, do you have a phone? All right. Can
We
you send
just
us
called him. Of course he has a phone.
Can you send us an SMS message? Not quite yet. Hold on. Let me tell you which number.
All right. Wait, just a second. Let's add the list view first.
I'm gonna give you the number. Okay, add the list view. Do your thing.
Okay. This I understand how to do.
Yeah, just like the desktop. So the SMS message is going to come in. If our app isn't running, we're going to get woken up. We're going to get handed the message. And if we are running, we're just going to get the message from our SMS interceptor. And then we're going to get the address of the sender, and we'll just pop it into the list view.
As part of our secure privacy initiative, we will only show the first 9 digits of the number.
Yes, this is security and privacy at its best.
Okay. So Seth needs to know this number, right?
Seth, it's just Chris's number. All right.
Okay.
Hold on, not yet. Let's actually deploy this before you send SMS messages and cause a whole bunch of
Build
havoc.
progress. It's building.
Building.
It's thinking.
It's thinking.
Let's transition to the device.
Transition device. Deploy started. Deploy succeeded. Okay.
Sign.
Let's let it come up. And is it up? Very cool. Seth?
Seth, if you will, a message.
You're sending. Don't do this, like SMS in a keynote, like a reliability of SMS.
We were talking about lots of moving parts.
Yeah.
One more.
And we're going to add one more.
Okay.
Did we get the SMS message?
It's coming.
Oh, look at that. Excellent. So we got 4 lines of code to intercept an SMS message.
4 lines of code.
4 lines of code. A message handler, SMS received. Oh, who's that?
Somebody
That's
else
Kevin.
has the number.
Hey, put your number up there. All right. If anybody wants to take the phone out and send us an SMS message, we're going to do a stress test. I think the most we've tested is with about 5. Seriously. Come on, we don't have this many phones at Microsoft. We got to test this somehow. Get your phones out, send Chris an SMS message, and while you do that, not joking, come on. And
We're getting some people taking us up. There's another 206, a 425.
nice. I'm going to give you a quick recap of what we've just done. So what you saw today is you saw first-class development experience in Visual Studio 2005 with native code, with COM interop. We saw native and managed in the same solution. You saw debugging to the device in Visual Studio 2005. You saw loading up the address book, same API that can get you calendar and contacts and tasks all with 1 line of code. Yes, 1 line of code. What is that?
Someone decided to be cute.
Oh, somebody's calling. That's not very nice.
You know, that's not playing nicely with others. We trusted you. We said, we'll give you our phone, but you won't call it. No, you'll just send us an SMS message. Told you that was a bad idea.
Yes, you saw telephony. You saw SMS. We have pictures that you saw yesterday. We have location services. All this super great richness that the device, all these capabilities the device has that the desktop doesn't have, are coming your way just like you asked.
Awesome.
We done?
We're done. That's great.
We're done. Good job. You're graduating.
Thank you very much.
All right, take it easy.
So to get really good first-class support, we need a lot more than just the IDE flare or anything like that. The one piece of feedback that we get consistently is that data is a core part of applications. And I actually had a little bit of a revelation, which was when I first got into device space, I heard about this great product called SQL CE, which maybe you guys all know about this, and I'm the one who's been living in a cave, but it's actually the ability to run a small version of SQL Server right on your device, on your handheld. And we've had kind of limited support for it, and we're really trying to move it and make it be a first-class environment. And so I'd like to bring out Kevin from the SQL CE team to educate us on where we're going with this. Kevin?
Hey, Chris.
Great.
Chris, I had some, I was in the back, and you know your mom's here, and she was looking at what you're wearing, and she had this little card that she got yesterday at the keynote, and it was this chic eye for the IT guy, and she was telling me that, you know, Chris, you need to tuck your shirt out, and
Yeah, oh, that looks better?
So
a little more casual?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go.
So
is that better, everyone? Is that good?
So she said that's what you need to do, and you should go to that thing. I think it's at 6 o'clock tonight.
Okay, 6 o'clock. I'll go.
So what we're going to do...
A fun little diversion.
What we're going to do is we're going to talk about integration with SQL Server CE and the upcoming products that are coming out with SQL Server 2005. So what we want to do is what we have up is SQL Workbench. This is the replacement for Enterprise Manager that comes with SQL Server 2000. And what we're going to show is integration with SQL Server 2005 in with SQL Server CE. So what we want to do is let's go to the Connect button and let's go to SQL Server CE. This is something new that you could never do before. Let's go and create a new database.
New.
And let's just call it sync.sdf and overwrite the existing file. If we wanted to, if we had a device hooked up on ActiveSync, we could create the database on the device from here on the desktop. So what you see is now through the UI that would normally manage SQL Server databases, we can get to a SQL Server CE database. There's nothing in here, it's just a blank database.
That's not very interesting.
Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to get data down to the device. In this instance, we're going to bring it right down to the desktop. So how do we go about doing that? One of the key things with SQL Server CE is the ability to synchronize data from a back-end SQL Server database and be able to get all the schema and data down to the device. So what we're going to do is we've done a new wizard in SQL Server 2005 that will bring down a subscription database down to the device, in this instance down to the desktop. So if we right-click on subscription and say new subscriptions, we can go ahead and click next.
So this is basically the same wizard that I had already on the desktop when I was doing SQL Server to SQL Server, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're going to hook up to our SQL Server 2005 database.
Okay.
We're going to choose an existing publication that's a Northwind database. Go ahead and give it a name, nwind. And we already have the internet URL for our IIS box to do sync, so we can do this over GPRS or CDMA. We're going to connect anonymously.
So you're doing SQL Server replication over HTTP through IIS, all in the same box?
Exactly.
And it's anonymous subscription.
Well, we wouldn't recommend that, but for the demo, we need to kind of do this stuff. And then let's just use SQL authentication, SA, and the secret sauce password.
Secret password entered.
And now what we have is, Chris, in this demo, we're going to do something different. All the other demos, there's all this code. My girlfriend is out in the audience, somewhere in the audience, and she doesn't get coding. And she's like, she sent an SMS and says she's getting really tired. She knows how to do SMS, though. She sent me an SM in the back and said, I hope you don't show any code. So we're going to do a no-code demo. What this is showing here is you could copy and paste this code, which we're going to do, which is going to create a subscription database on the device. You could copy and paste this and put it into your VB.NET app or C# app, and it would just run. Everything that's running here is in code, so you can copy and paste it into your application. So let's go ahead and click this. And what's happening is we're bringing data down from the SQL Server 2005 database into SQL Server CE on the desktop. And you saw something there. You saw synchronization that went, and we had timing. This is a new feature. We had all sorts of users that when syncing up over GPRS or CDMA, they'd see the little bar on there and they'd sit and warm boot their device because they didn't know what status it was. They thought it had hung. So now as a developer, you get callbacks through managed code that you can come back and put status bars in your application to see how far your sync status is. So this is a really cool new feature. So now we have this, we can refresh it, and you can see that we have data actually available to look at and browse through the desktop. It's something brand new that you could never do before. So now let's go in and let's do something else that you couldn't do before, and that would be edit and query the data. So let's go in and say a new query, and we can say again, new SQL Server CE query. And let's type in some SQL. That doesn't count as coding. So we can.
So I know SQL. I've done SQL before. Does it support the same SQL that's on the desktop and everything?
Everything that we type in on a SQL Server CE is upward compatible to a SQL Server database. So what we're going to do here is a little join on the customers and orders table. And we're going to display the results. Again, something that you could never do before. You always had to do this on the device. So this is pretty cool. Man, I don't know. This is
awesome.
Yeah. Let's go a step farther, though. Let's go one step farther. We always had developers complaining that when they get the stuff on the device, the query might run slowly, and they didn't have any equivalent like they did in SQL Server to go in and modify or update that query. So let's go in and let's show something that's brand new in this, and we can go in just like we have on the Big Brother, and we can say include actual show plan, and let's execute this again. And what we're going to get, if we go down that execution plan, is a GUI show plan for SQL Server CE on the device. So you can do this. And on top of this, you can go in and do optimization hints just like you can on SQL Server to optimize table order or index order to get the actual optimization that you want. So it's a super cool new feature.
It's awesome.
So
what about getting data into the CE database?
So we have data in the CE database. It's on the desktop. If we had a large database, we could put this on an SD card and redistribute it back out to however many devices we had. Again, something new that you couldn't do before. Before, you always had to deploy through your device, which was quite slow. So the other thing, though, is what we showed here was getting data from SQL Server into a SQL Server CE database. We have tons of people saying, well, how do I get my data from an Oracle or DB2 or Jet Access database? So let's switch over to the next screen. And we're going to go to data transformation services. This is something that everyone's probably played with before on getting data into and out of SQL Server, but never the ability to get it into a SQL Server CE database. So with SQL Server 2005, with DTS, we've added in capabilities to get data into a SQL Server CE database. So for this, let's just, are you going to sleep on me?
I'm working on it.
Let's go to the Control tab.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Control tab.
Control tab.
Yeah,
we were on the wrong tab. That's what was looking odd to me.
And let's double click on the execute SQL task.
Don't want to rename it then.
And what we're doing here is we can do some business logic in that SQL statement. We can put a bunch of SQL statements together and we can do business logic before we actually import the data. In this instance, we're just deleting rows from this database that we've already created. So we can go ahead and click off that. And let's go to the data flow tab. The data flow tab.
On the data flow tab. I'm there.
You can see that we have an OLEDB source going down and doing a data transformation into a SQL Server CE database that's on the desktop. If we click on the NWIN4 connection, you can see if we scroll down a little bit that we're coming from a JET database. And if we go to the DTS connection, you'll see that we're going into an SDF file, which is a SQL Server CE database. So if we go back to the control tab and then execute this, we have some really cool graphics that the DTS team did for us, and we can see and get status. So we took data, deleted rows from SQL Server CE, extracted data from a JET database, Northwind, and put it into a SQL Server CE database. So you could do this to Oracle or DB2 or whatever you want. Now, even cooler is you could take this package and put it into your Visual Studio application and automate it.
So you can actually run this every time you want to build your app, and you can just suck the data down at any time.
Exactly.
That's pretty hot.
So now let's switch to the other computer.
Oh.
And let's show some integration with Visual Studio 2005. So we've done all this stuff where we manage data, but we haven't actually shown any integration in with how do I get this application to my device. And so far, again, let's keep in mind, no code has been written. So we're going to stay on that theme. So let's just show some integration, and let's go to the Data Connections tab, and let's add a new connection.
Yeah, seems familiar. I've played with the data connection in the Server Explorer before.
So this is very similar to what was in Bill's keynote yesterday. And let's go up to Provider. And you can see here that we have a SQL Server CE connection. So we're tightly integrated in. And let's go to a connection. And let's browse for a database that's out there. It knows it's a SQL CE database. And let's open this.
Okay.
And we can go ahead and test the connection. Bingo, that means we're live and going. Now what we can do is very similar to what we had in SQL Workbench with SQL Server 2005. We can expand this and look at the tables. Now what we can do is go a step farther, and we can just right-click on the Customers table.
Customers.
And we can open that up. And what we can do, another first, is we can edit data live on our SQL Server CE database. This database could be attached to your device through ActiveSync, or it can be on your desktop, and we can edit data live and be able to commit that. Now everyone that's done desktop development, they're like, oh, this isn't a big deal. But for the 4 years that we've had mobile database stuff, this is like a real treat. So we can go in and actually do this. So let's close this out. And now let's get to some meat. Let's create an application.
Okay. At some point, I was expecting that I'd get to write code. I was told I was going to be a code monkey for this, and you're disappointing me so far.
Well, we're gonna remedy that.
Okay.
So let's call this SQL Mobile.
Okay. You mean SQL CE?
No, SQL Mobile.
Okay.
Now the reason why we have this new name, SQL Mobile, is we're having a name change. We're no longer going to be SQL Server CE. We now are going to be SQL Server 2005 Mobile Edition.
Wait. SQL Server Mobile Edition.
Yeah.
That's short for ME? Are we bringing that acronym back?
No ME.
Okay. So this is SQL Mobile then. That'll be the short version.
This branding went through the shit guy for the IT guy, and it's okay. So the reason we're calling it Mobile Edition is you see something on there. You see Smartphone 2003, and you see something else that's not on there. The reason we're calling it SQL Mobile Edition is we're going to support a future version of the Windows Mobile smartphone, and on top of that, we're going to support tablet PC. So SQL Mobile will be able to go from your smartphone, Windows CE.NET device, Pocket PC, and to a tablet PC, and you'll have the same data store across all those and have the same exact data behavior across all those applications.
Awesome.
So let's go ahead and click OK on this. And what it's going to do is create up a brand new project. We have this similar thing that we have before. Let's go ahead and call this form SQL Mobile. So we got to click on the top of the form.
Trying.
There we are. And let's get rid of that X. I hate that X. I want to put an OK so that it actually shuts down the app instead of minimizes it. You know,
nice.
There we are. Now let's go into data source and let's look at a new feature in Visual Studio 2005. And this is add new data source. So we can click database. In Bill G's keynote, they clicked object. And we'll go ahead and click next. And we're going to use the existing data connection that we just defined. So we don't want to save anything. We go through. And what we see is a list of tables. So we're querying the SQL Server CE database. We can choose that, let's just say customers and orders. We can click finish, and what's going to happen is it's going to generate an XSD schema definition of what we're going to be able to import into our project. So let's go back to the Solution Explorer, and let's go down to the XSD file and double click on it. Now what you see is we have the two tables that we imported, but we don't have any relationships at this point defined. So what we also can do is add relationships. So if we right-click on this and add a relationship, we can go to the customers table. Now we have a one-to-many relationship between customers and orders ID. Normally, if you brought this down as a subscription database, this would all be there for you.
Yeah, so normally that would be there, but we just wanted to show you could do this in the IDE, in the tool itself.
So let's save this XSD file.
Save. Okay.
And let's go back to the form. Now this is what really rocks. Let's drag that customers table over to the skin of the table. Now before, anyone that's done data development in any form of mobile knows that you had to do what you guys were doing before, and that's coding. Now, I'm so tired of coding to put stuff in the data grid when I could do stuff on the desktop. So what we've done is we just loaded up the customers table on here. Now let's go even a step farther in super cool data stuff, and let's right-click on this and say Configure Master Details. Now I don't know how many people were out with Access 2.0, but that's when I started at Microsoft, and this was one of the first features we put in was this one-to-many relationship stuff. Now we finally have it available for devices, all without writing any code. So let's go ahead and dock that so it goes on the bottom, and let's go ahead and build it.
I'm disappointed, Kevin. I haven't got to write any code.
Well, the cool thing is let's switch over to the UML device, and we have to go to the preset, and let's show this application running. So, no code, and go ahead and, do you need a
I'm stylus free.
It's a good thing I have my phone edition device.
Okay, so we got the orders up top, or the customers up top and their orders down below.
Exactly.
And when I tab through here,
it automatically updates. No code, folks. So what we've shown, Chris, is we've shown that there's tight integration with the next version of SQL Server 2005, tight integration with Visual Studio, both in being able to manage your SQL Server C database, regardless if it's on the desktop or on your device, and the ability to get applications up very quickly without writing a line of code. So this is really very cool stuff.
Excellent. Thanks a lot.
Yep. Thank you.
Wow. That's actually a huge amount of content for everyone to absorb, especially I think if some of the new the mobility space is new to you. So I just want to kind of summarize what we've seen today. First, this notion that smart clients are beyond just personal computers, that you need to take into account how devices are going to play in the ecosystem of your entire network. The key thing is we already have the ability to build these apps today in a fairly straightforward and simple way. The key thing is that we're going forward, and Microsoft's committed to make the mobile platform be a first-class development platform with all the productivity features that are available on the desktop. So Kevin and the rest of the guys said, you got to give them a call to action. You got to tell these guys what they need to do. And I hope it's actually kind of obvious at this point what we think you guys should be doing, which is build mobile applications today. Start working on this. We're going to keep investing in this. We're going to have more and more devices coming out every year, adding new features, integration of phone features and all the devices. So we really think building managed code applications or native where appropriate is a great way to enhance your smart client ecosystem. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the conference.